Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, the YouTube channel that is not hosted by a sociopath or narcissist peddling their supplements. No, I, Ryan, am your host. And today I'll be responding to the Why I'm No Longer Vegan video by Dr. Mona Van, a self-proclaimed expert in nutrition and wellness. She has a huge following on YouTube and social media, way bigger than we'll ever have. And remember I mentioned she's a doctor. I looked up, she has a doctorate degree in pharmacy, but she's no longer a practicing doctor of pharmacy. She's doing what I'm doing, making YouTube videos and going on shows like The Doctors.
Because pharmacist Mona Van is here to share some insider secrets. The whole idea is to save you cash. Mona, thanks for joining us.
So as always, when I make these Why I'm No Longer Vegan response videos, I'll be looking very closely at her reasons, her stated reasons as to why she can no longer be vegan anymore. Because I'm still trying to find a reason why someone can't possibly be vegan. So we'll see what she says. See if it makes any sense, see if there's some insurmountable problem that requires not being vegan, and we'll always keep an eye open to see if she was even really vegan in the first place. So anyway, let's jump right in to see her response to her big following as to why she's not making vegan videos anymore on her YouTube channel.
I've really been wanting to make this video to talk about why I'm not vegan anymore, especially because since I started all of my social media, especially my YouTube channel, it was all about vegan content. And it was something I really believed in, but obviously as I've evolved as a human, different things have come up which have made me need to really readjust my diet, and I want to get into it all on here to just explain.
All right, so that's her intro. So I'm going to jump to where she starts talking about why she became vegan, or at least started following a vegan diet. And again, let's keep an eye or an ear open to see if she really was vegan ever.
And my brother was having these heart palpitations, and he was going to different doctors to figure out what it was, and all these cardiologists were telling him different things, and there was just one he went to that was like, you need to go vegan and lose 20 pounds.
All right, I have a lot to say just from that little bit there. It really makes me want to make a whole video really clearly explaining, I won't do it here though in this video, the difference between a vegan diet and veganism. They're two totally different things. I don't see how your doctor would tell you to go vegan. Let's look what vegan is, or what veganism is. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. It's not a diet per se. It's a diet only in the sense that if you're against animal cruelty and exploitation, the only foods that you can eat that are in accordance with your ethical beliefs are plants and fungi. I still have yet to hear about a doctor telling their patient, hey, you must go vegan. You have to take a stand against animal cruelty and exploitation. I'm sure the doctor was telling the patient, the brother there, to go on a vegan diet. And let me just make one more little quick example here of how veganism is not a diet. If veganism were just a diet of just eating plants and had nothing to do with being against animal cruelty and exploitation, this brother of hers could be a vegan hunter. I mean, you see how crazy this is? Yeah, I mean, he could have been a hunter before he had his heart palpitation diagnosis there, and still continues hunting while eating a vegan diet. See how that makes no sense? How can you have vegan big game hunters?
Like I told my parents and his ex at the time, like we should all go vegan so that when we're all eating dinner together, it's not fair and it's not hard for him. And that's actually what made me do the initial jump to going vegan.
I mean, that's really nice and considerate of her to join her brother in his forced plant-based diet. He wasn't forced to go vegan, but she said this is what jumped her into going vegan. I mean, no, she's like her brother, started a vegan diet, but I don't hear anything about being vegan.
And then I just kind of embraced and thrived in that lifestyle because I love vegan food. I think it's so fun and creative to go to a different vegan restaurant. That part of it I really enjoyed. And then of course I got immersed in it and started learning all the benefits and everything.
Speaking of all the benefits, this would have been a great time to mention the benefit, the primary benefit of why we go vegan is because animals no longer need to be slaughtered for you.
Meanwhile, I'm eating a vegan diet, living my life.
Ah, so now she calls it a vegan diet, which I think finally she's being completely accurate and honest here.
And I start working out with this trainer in LA, and I love LA for so many reasons, but there's also a lot of negativity that comes with that Hollywood culture.
Well, I'm gonna agree with her here too. The few times I've been at events where there's LA YouTubers, famous ones, and LA influencers, they're typically a really sad, shallow lot.
And at the time, big butts were just a thing.
Big butts? Yeah, I'm not surprised. That sounds so Los Angeles.
Everyone was working on having a bigger butt, and I have a very small frame, so I was like, how do I get a bigger butt? I was trying and nothing was working, so my trainer at the time was like, you need to gain weight. And he had me on this whole like bulk and shred thing. Honestly, looking back, I would have never done this, and I even have an old YouTube video talking about it. We did like bulk and shred, that was the plan. Gain the weight, and then you can shred and you lose the fat but keep the muscle. So I'm eating everything in sight, like rice, quinoa, french fries, fried tofu, almond butter, cashew butter, anything that I felt like had really good density that would help me gain weight. Anyway, then I lose the weight when it's like shredding time. And first of all, my butt didn't really change. Just have to throw that out there. Maybe it works for other people. It didn't really work for me.
So you're probably wondering, what does this whole failed pursuit of trying to get a big butt in LA have anything to do with her no longer being vegan? Well, she claims this was the start of all her problems.
But then I noticed my stomach area was still like bigger, and I didn't even realize it was bloat. I thought it was fat because I tend to gain weight in my stomach first. Like everyone has an area of their body where they hold their weight. Mine's right here. So I'm like going to these doctors and I'm like, why am I not losing weight here? And then they were like, that's not fat, that's distension. Like that's really like that's, and I'm like, oh, this is bloating. I've never experienced something like this where like, everything's fine, I'm living my healthy life, I'm eating salads, and I look pregnant.
Okay, I'm not a medical doctor or health expert, so I don't want to like diagnose or anything like that. I'm just kind of wondering like how severe was this bloating? I mean, I get a little bloat after my morning smoothies, but it's nothing that ever occurred to me I should go see a doctor about. Like I never thought I should quit being vegan because of it.
Since then, it's been about 3.5 or 4 years where I've been on this gut health journey trying to heal my gut.
Healing your gut? Now we're on a whole nother thing here. So now you're saying bloating means that you have a damaged gut?
And I don't know if it's because I threw everything off in that time. I don't know if it was like a slow run with being vegan and maybe something got thrown off.
Well, I'm glad she's not pointing the finger exactly at her vegan diet for throwing something off, but she is pointing the finger that it could be. I'd like to see some more evidence that vegan diets cause this gut damage, especially if you're doing this butt diet thing that she was doing.
I don't know if stress at the same time because, there's a lot of stress and anxiety I've dealt with since then. So who knows what caused it?
Good point. Who knows what caused her gut damage? But what we want to know in this video is a vegan diet known to cause gut damage. And again, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just looking online at Cleveland Clinic here, and I see no mention about eating too many plants or eating a weird version of a vegan diet like our LA butt diet or anything like that would be a probable cause.
So after going to different doctors, I ended up seeing functional medicine doctors.
I'm not going to say anything here negative about functional medicine doctors. They are trained in medicine, but they have some different practices that are a little not quite accepted by the standard medical field. So just take that for as many grains of salt as you want.
As I was going to different doctors, they were all basically like, you need to eliminate so much fiber, you need to eliminate legumes, you need to eliminate raw fruit.
No fiber, legumes, or fruit? I mean, that's pretty much all plants. They just don't want you to be eating a vegan diet anymore, it sounds like.
There was just nothing left for me to eat. So at some point I had to start adding in things. And at first it was just like, let me add a little bit of fish.
Of course, fish. Like every one of these Why I'm No Longer Vegan video people, they always start with introducing fish. And next thing you know, they're at a steakhouse like a few weeks later. But anyway, let's get back to the main point here. So let's just assume for a minute she was vegan. She believed animal cruelty and exploitation is wrong. So you're saying you're going to abandon those moral, ethical principles basically because you are bloated. You have bloating. That's it. That's why you're leaving an ethical vegan lifestyle behind. You're throwing that away because of some bloating. It didn't even look that bad to me, my non-medical trained eye. But what I'm hearing though is that she's not vegan. And I'm not saying this in a mean or angry way or anything like that. And none of her video does she make any mention about the animals. Nothing. It's all about, wellness and nutrition and skinny butt diet and all this stuff. And I hear it only from a diet standpoint. And this is why I get angry when I see a video like hers entitled Why I Am No Longer Vegan. I don't see any indication you've ever been vegan. You're on a vegan diet. But let's see what happened. Let's see this slippery slope now, following your functional medicine doctor's advice here to introduce fish. What else are you going to start eating now?
okay, let me add in a little bit of red meat because my iron was so low and, you know, thyroid was off and there.
Okay, once again, I'm not a medical doctor, but I've talked to enough medical doctors to know if someone's iron test a little bit low, they don't say, hey, you gotta eat way more meat than you've been eating. No, they prescribe you a iron supplement. And she's talking about her thyroid problem here. I looked at the website of Paloma, their thyroid specialist here, and they have a whole page dedicated to hyperthyroidism. I'm not sure if that's what she has, but anyway, it's and eating a plant-based diet. They're not incompatible.
It was just all of this stuff happening. Started out with just fish, and then I started adding in red meat, and then it was even like more elimination. That almost had to become the main thing that I ate.
Oh, really? So red meat, that's the main thing you eat now. So you're basically a carnivore if red meat's the main thing you eat? Wow.
Because when you really look into like what irritates the gut, what does it? And look, I also want to say, I know there are so many differing opinions on this. I have gone through so many different diet types. I've tried low FODMAP, I've tried Candida, I've tried keto, and I'm still on this journey.
Still on this journey, meaning you haven't solved this yet? Like, what'd you say you quit being vegan like 3 odd years ago and eating all this red meat as your primary food, and you're still bloated? So, so much for veganism causing bloat. It sounds like pretty much everything you're eating is causing bloat if you're still on this journey, as you say here. So, might as well go back to being on a vegan diet. If nothing's really like fixing it, since you're on this dietary or healing gut journey, as you're calling it, why not at least not have animals be exploited and killed for you? If you're going to be bloated, might as well not harm animals as well, is what I'm saying. Additionally, I want to make Mona aware of the Institute of Plant-Based Medicine here in Southern California in Orange County. A little drive from Hollywood, but well worth it if you want to maintain your veganness. Anyway, you can meet with a vegan gastroenterologist and work with her team of nutritionists and dietitians and find a plant-based solution to gut issues. I know Dr. Angie's been treating people with gut issues for many years and solves their issues on a completely plant-based diet rather than taking the advice of these functional medicine doctors who probably have no education in nutrition, and if they do, it sounds like they have some pretty bogus information. So anyway, I wish people who were never vegan in the first place wouldn't make these why I'm no longer vegan videos. Make a why I'm no longer plant-based video, and you wouldn't have me responding here, because from everything I could tell, there was never a time in Mona's life where she was vegan. She was just living in LA, Hollywood, doing this trendy vegan thing and getting a following in social media, and never heard any mention about how veganism is not a diet. It's not about losing weight or anything like that. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. So please, people, if you're new to veganism, make sure you understand if you're on a plant-based diet or if you're vegan. I'm not knocking people on plant-based diets. It's totally cool, but please don't call yourself vegan, because then we have to like answer for you if you ever quit, because of you change because you found a new trendy diet or something like that. Anyway, leave your questions and comments down below. Hit like, share this video, subscribe to our channel. Until next time, remember, doesn't suck being vegan.